Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic Attack on Titan scenes of all time.
何言ってんの
Number 50, Annie, Gabi, and Falco to the rescue.
ミカさん、あんたちょっと邪魔待って
Swooping in just in the nick of time, the Survey Corps' mission to stop the rumbling is saved by a Titan shifter, a flying monster, and a teenaged assassin. No, that's not a joke. After losing her will to fight following her father's presumed death, Annie picked herself up by her bootstraps and decided to charge into battle no matter what.
私もまさか本当に飛ぶとは思ってなかったんだけど、本当に飛ぶから、もう行くしかなかった。
And what better way to make an entrance than flying on Falco's newly revealed Titan form? Gabi's there too, and while the trio really took their time arriving on the scene, this last-minute save sure was worth the wait. Number 49, Zeke's past. Earlier in the series, we would have said it's impossible to feel anything other than pure hatred for the Beast Titan. But this being Attack on Titan, even Zeke Yeager comes with his own tragic backstory. It's a real kicker too.
そんなこと言わないで。あの子は一生懸命頑張ったでしょ。
Raised by radicalized parents hell-bent on destroying Marley, Zeke's only real parental figure was the previous owner of the Beast Titan. Choosing love over vengeance, the boy turned his own parents in for treason. From there, Zeke pieced his own morality back together with one thing in mind: freeing Eldia no matter the cost. Yeah, this show will even make you feel bad for Zeke freaking Yeager. Number 48, Kenny's death. While he was far from a good man, or really even a decent one, Kenny the Ripper was still the closest thing Levi ever had to a father. It didn't stop them from trading blows when Eren was kidnapped, but it did add a bittersweet touch to what should have been a cathartic villain death.
みんな何かに酔っ払ってねえとやってられなかったんだな。みんな何かの奴隷だった。
There's certainly sadness to the realization that Kenny was never interested in Titans, cures, or parenting. He was just a guy trying to get his money, and yet, there's a mutual respect in his last scene with Levi. Estranged or not, these two meant something to each other.
あんた、本当は母さんのなんだバカが。ただの兄貴だ。
Number 47, Annie and Armin clear the air. Nothing screams end of the world like some juicy confessions, eh?
まだお礼を言ってないと思って。
Even though most of Annie and Armin's relationship happened when the latter was frozen in crystal, the rumbling meant there wasn't any time left to play dumb. Sorry shippers, it's not quite the declaration of love we wanted. Instead, the two simply acknowledge how much they've been through together, even if they weren't always on the same side.
痛かったからだ。兄に。
The scene is a breath of fresh air amidst the crushing stakes of the rumbling and reaffirms why stopping Eren is so important. Annie and Armin's differences didn't break them apart, it brought them together. Number 46, Eren gives Mikasa his scarf. There's no Attack on Titan without Mikasa, and there's no Mikasa without her red scarf. It's basically a part of her character, and it all started here. After butchering some uncouth individuals who definitely had it coming, Eren realizes his neckwear is better off comforting the youthful Mikasa.
やるよ、これ。
Impressively, that small gesture between the kids helps brighten an otherwise horrifically traumatic moment. It's a real feat of emotional storytelling and goes to show why Eren and Mikasa are so inseparable. At that moment, he didn't just give her a scarf, he gave her a home.
帰る。
Number 45, leaving Marco to die.
マルコ、今の話は冗談だ。
In an epically bad case of wrong place, wrong time, poor Marco stumbles upon his fellow recruits just in time to hear them talking about their titanic origins. Left with no choice, Reiner, Annie, and Bertolt earn Marco's silence by abandoning him on the battlefield. His pained screams are impossible to forget. It's one thing to hear about the difficult choices the three Titan shifters had to make, but seeing it firsthand, especially as it relates to Marco, is enough to make your stomach turn. Dying to a Titan is bad enough, dying to people you thought were friends is something so much worse.
なんでマルコが食われてる。
Number 44. There were never any devils on this island.
ガビ、どうして敵を信じたんだ？
いや
When we first meet her, Gabby Brown easily takes the crown as the most hateable character in the whole series. But can you really blame her? She was born, raised, and trained to believe Eldians are scum of the earth. To her, they aren't even people, they're devils. But Gabby is also the show's most improved character, primarily because of this one breakthrough. In spite of everything she's done, Gabby receives nothing but kindness from Sasha's parents, leading to her realization that the only monsters on Eldia are the Titans. There is nothing more gratifying than a hateable character learning and growing into something better.
悪魔なんていなかった。この島には人がいるだけ。やっとライナーの気持ちが分かった。
Number 43. Mikasa buries Eren at the tree. Even if it felt inevitable, the end of Attack on Titan is still heartbreaking in all the right ways.
エレン、もうすぐみんなが会いに来るよ。嬉しいでしょ。
Once the rumbling has smashed most of humanity to bits, and all the Titan action has died down, all that's left is Mikasa and the dead body of the person she loved more than anyone else. She chooses to bury Eren under the same tree he spent most of his childhood, bringing both the show and his character full circle.
あなたに会いたい。
It's a beautiful conclusion in every way imaginable, and while it's sad to say goodbye to the Eren we once knew, we can't imagine his journey ending any other way. Number 42. Levi kills Zeke for good. For the love of Ymir, this was a long time coming. Levi had cornered Zeke plenty of times before, and yet, the Beast Titan always managed to slither his way out.
俺に会いたかったんだろ、リヴァイ。俺は会いたくなかったけどな。
It's fitting then that Levi only lands the death blow when Zeke lets him. By the time the anti-hero realizes the rumbling was a big fat mistake, the only way to stop it is to fall on his own sword. So Zeke sticks out his neck, calls for Levi, and finally finds the peace he spent his whole life searching for. Emotional, tense, and moving, this was an extraordinary send-off to one of Attack on Titan's best characters. Number 41. Eren passes the test. Joining the Survey Corps is no easy task, and that's with the proper equipment. While Eren scored high marks in enthusiasm, he couldn't join the ranks until he passed his ODM test.
何をやっているエレン・イェーガー、状態を起こせ。なんだこれ。
He failed and failed and failed until Commander Pixis noticed that Eren's gear was sabotaged. Through pure skill, he'd managed to nearly overcome a faulty spring. But with the right equipment, Eren finally proved to everyone that he wasn't all talk. He was actually pretty good at the ODM movements. From pathetic rookie to certified prodigy in an instant, no other anime training arc has ever been so satisfying.
やった。できた。
Number 40. Eren loses his head.
来い。エレン。
Say what you will about Gabby, but the kid's a damn good shot. With the fate of the world on her shoulders, she takes aim, shoots a moving target across a crowded pavilion, and it's a bullseye. For the show, it's a grisly jaw-dropping moment that sees Eren and Zeke fail yet again to start the rumbling. For Eren, it's jaw-dropping in another way. Let's just say this was the kind of headshot that didn't leave with much of a head left at all.
お前の首はガビに吹っ飛ばされたが、完全に事切れる前に俺と接触を果たした。
Whether you're watching it for the blood-soaked carnage, the action-packed drama, or the insane twist of it all, this is a moment to remember. Number 39, Connie's mum. Back when the Titans' origins were still shrouded in mystery, the Survey Corps went back to Connie's hometown and made a spine-tingling discovery. Do you see the mindless mass of flesh sitting on the roof, staring into space? Connie thinks it looks a lot like his conveniently missing mother. Yeah, when you connect those dots, it's clear this isn't the homecoming he expected. The revelation that Titans are at least partly transformed humans is sickening, and seeing it manifest in the form of Connie's own mother is even worse. Attack on Titan isn't afraid to give you nightmares, and moments like this prove it. Number 38, the wardrobe change of the century. Eren puts on a jacket. That's it. That's the whole scene. But somehow, the execution had the entire Attack on Titan fanbase in a frenzy.
Eren Yeager が地下牢から脱走しました。兵を総動員して捜索するんだ。
Boasting glorious animation, epic music, and just enough skin, Eren delivered one of the most talked about anime moments of the year. There's really no way to put into words just how crazy the internet went for this shot of Eren from the trailer. You just had to be there. Although the actual scene left a lot to be desired, there's no denying the power Eren and his jacket holds over us.
ジークの居場所を特定する。
Number 37, Mikasa blows Reiner to smithereens. The Armored Titan's unbreakable exterior proved particularly difficult for our heroes to overcome, at least until they invented Thunder Spears. After an explosively clutch save from Hanji, the Titan's jaw falls wide open, leaving just enough space for Mikasa to blow Reiner to Marley and back. Considering the blasts were enough to dent his armored coating, you can only imagine what it did to Reiner from the inside. And boy, does it look awesome. The animators went all out for this scene.
Reiner, 出て!
It's as if even they knew how long we'd waited to see Reiner get his due. Number 36, Yeager's death. During a rogue Titan attack, Eren can't do a thing as his mother stays behind to lure the monster away. Her life ends with a crunch, and just like that, Eren is left galvanized against Titans for the rest of his life. Carla's death is as gruesome as they come, especially through the eyes of a child. Keep in mind, this is the first episode too. It's a despicable turn of events that successfully sets the bleak tone for the rest of the entire series, especially in the endgame when we learn Eren could have stopped it from happening at all. Number 35, the coup d'etat. Ever wanted to know what happens when you betray the very people you're sworn to protect? Just ask the Paradis nobles. They left everyone speechless when they decided to bar the gates during a Titan attack, essentially sacrificing their constituents in order to save their own hides.
みんな急げ！住民の避難が最優先じゃ！はっ！ダメだ！ウォールシーナの扉を全て閉鎖せよ！
Except it was all a ruse meant to flush out these selfish leaders. Now, with their true motives exposed, the nobles are quickly dispelled with all the prejudice they deserve. It's a vindicating reversal that represents Attack on Titan's political side at its soapy and vengeful best.
どうやら理解しておられぬようですな。これはただの脅しではない。クーデターじゃ。
Number 34, who will inherit the Attack Titan? Offering a surprising bit of levity, our favorite Titan Slayers get a moment of respite with each other as they ride in the back of a carriage.
もう少し時間があればな。俺の寿命は5年とあと少ししかねえ。そろそろ決めなきゃいけない。俺の巨人の継承者を。
To pass the time, they muse over which of them will inherit Eren's titanic powers once he's gone. It may sound dark, but everyone's reasons are so heartwarming or hilarious, it's impossible to end the scene without a smile on your face. That may not sound like much, but this is Attack on Titan.
お前らが大事だからだ。他の誰よりも。
The Survey Corps doesn't get many cheerful moments, so we'll take this one for all it's worth. Number 33, the owl saves Grisha. Right when Eren's father is about to be executed via a long and gruesome plummet, he's suddenly saved by another man named Eren, aka an underground fugitive. But the rebel leader isn't content just rescuing Grisha.
俺がフクロウだ。覚えておけよグリシャ。巨人の力はこうやって使う。
In a fit of pure unbridled satisfaction, the owl slits his hand and shows the Marleyans what Titans can really do. It's a shocking twist and all, but really seeing Grisha's tormentors finally get what's coming to them is the real victory. If we were Grisha, we'd have pledged our allegiance to the owl too. Number 32, I've Always Hated You. At a roundtable discussion meant to ease tensions, you'd think Eren would greet his oldest friends with a handshake, an embrace, or some words of encouragement, right? Nope. Eren instead stands tall, looks Mikasa dead in the eye, and says he's loathed her the entire time they've known each other.
俺がこの世で一番嫌いなものがわかるか。不自由なやつだよ。 もしくは家畜だ。
The pain in her eyes is plain to see. To her, this bludgeon of an insult hurts more than anything a Titan could ever do.
俺はガキの頃からずっとミカサ、お前が大嫌いだった。
Still, all things considered, it was the audience at home who was left the most shocked by the realization that this isn't the Eren Yeager we once knew. Number 31, the rumbling arrives at Marley. It's bigger, it's badder, it's the rumbling, and finally, it's at Marley's doorstep. We only wish there was any vindication in it. Seeing Marley face the consequences of their actions sounds satisfying, but Eren's marching army of Titans doesn't discriminate between men, children, the innocent, or the guilty.
進撃の巨人だ!
Whether they played a role in Eldia's persecution or not, they all end up on the bottom side of a Titan's foot. It's a disturbing sequence that paints the rumbling in all its gruesome reality.
駆逐してやる。
Yeah, Marley had a good reason to be scared all this time. Number 30, Levi versus Female Titan. Ah yes, just when we were starting to learn what an absolute unit Captain Levi is. After Eren gets himself soundly defeated and swallowed by the female Titan, it falls to Levi to once again leap into the fray and save him, which he accomplishes in style. Despite the Titan shifter's reach and flexibility, Levi is in a whole other league, tearing through her flesh before stabbing her in both eyes at once. As if he would let anyone other than himself chew out Eren. Number 29, Beast and Armored Titan vs Mid-East Alliance. The final season certainly started off with a bang. We just didn't expect to see the Marleyans bring the boom. 4 years after their failed attempt to secure the founding Titan, Reiner and Zeke are left to deal with the consequences when Marley's surrounding nations decide to take a shot at challenging the power of the Titans. Their upgraded artillery certainly proves effective, but there's only so much you can do when the Beast and Armored Titan come crashing down from above, along with a legion of pure Titans to serve as fodder. This is how Marley handles warfare, and it is brutal. Number 28, Levi beats the crap out of Eren. Seeing a member of the Survey Corps suddenly transform into a Titan is bound to raise a few eyebrows. Despite sealing up trust, Eren is put on trial, with the military police gung-ho about executing him.
速やかに処分すべきだと考えております。
Thankfully, Levi steps in with the proposal of moving Eren into his custody, where the Survey Corps can keep a close eye on his Titan abilities. But not before giving a practical demonstration that they can keep him under control by beating in his face for a whole lot of minutes. Painful, yet effective.
今お前に必要なのは言葉による教育ではなく教訓だ。
Number 27, Ymir's transformation. Sassy and sarcastic with the hots for Krista, that's all we knew about Ymir from the first season.
女の方に興味があるようには見えなかったんだが。
Then she revealed that beneath all that snark, there was so much more.
胸張って生きろよ。
After their castle stronghold comes under attack from a horde commanded by the Beast Titan, the ill-prepared Corps have no way out. At least until Ymir leaps into the fray and turns into a Titan herself. It was so out of the blue, so unexpected, that it took everyone for a loop, showing that there was way more to this firecracker than we first thought. Number 26, Eren vs Female Titan, Round 2. It's the rematch we were all waiting for. With Annie's identity as the female Titan revealed, Eren goes on the warpath, leading to the two duking it out behind the walls, and pretty much smashing apart anyone unfortunate enough to get caught under them. In spite of her hardening ability allowing her to cut through his defenses, Annie's survival instinct has got nothing on Eren's rage. Losing himself to the monster within, all Annie can do is reassess her life choices as she comes within inches of being consumed by the jaws of death. Oh, and there are titans inside the walls. Go figure. Number 25, Saving Armin. The final battle with the Founding Titan was never going to be easy, but it seemed to go far worse than anyone could have imagined. First, Armin was captured.
Enemy!
Then, all the past Titan incarnations manifested and relentlessly attacked our heroes. Just when it seemed absolutely hopeless, Armin had an important conversation with Zeke on the other side. It was by his will that he was able to pass a message to lots of old faces, leading to their Titan forms rebelling against their master.
キャッチボールをしているだけでよかったよ。
With this assist, they were finally able to free Armin once again, giving them another faint glimmer of hope to stop Eren. Number 24, the end of Levi's squad. The Special Operations Squad may not have had as much time to develop compared to the likes of Mikasa, Jean, and the rest, but they were still an endearing group, especially when it came to Petra.
大半は飛行船部隊に割かれました。残りの兵員で運用できる大砲は3門ほどしか。それが黙って見ていられ。
Fiercely loyal to the likes of Levi, they were some of the best the Survey Corps had to offer, and we got to watch the female Titan tear them apart one by one. In spite of their top-tier skills, the female Titan's strategy and killer instinct proved to be their undoing, each meeting a tragic end that probably still keeps Eren up at night.
立体起動装置が破損したようだ。俺も。
Number 23, Levi vs Kenny's squad. Ironically, one of the best fights in Attack on Titan doesn't involve actual Titans at all. It's just Levi, a decade-old grudge, and a whole lot of glorious ODM action. Levi doesn't let Kenny take Eren and Historia without a fight, that's for sure. The sheer sense of speed and momentum conveyed in every single one of his moves is truly a sight to behold, especially considering he maneuvered his way through all of Kenny's squad with only a few scratches to show for it.
エレンたちを取り戻すためには躊躇するな。殺せるときは殺せ。分かったか?
Even though Levi failed to rescue Eren and Historia, this aerobic counterattack is a winner in every other way that counts. Number 22, Mike's death.
気がかりなのはあの貴公衆。
There have been plenty of unsettling and visceral deaths across this series, though none have ever come close to matching the horror of Mike's demise. With a nose for trouble, this veteran member of the Survey Corps appeared to be the kind of soldier that could cut his way through any predicament. And that might still be true if he were dealing with the average Titan.
怯えてそれどころじゃないのか。
Alas, he tangled with the Beast Titan, who promptly disabled his maneuver gear before feeding him to his underlings, all in graphic detail. His screams still haunt us to this day. Number 21, Eren vs Female Titan Round 1. Given how we had just watched his new allies get splattered across the forest floor, it's easy to see why Eren might have lost his temper and thrown himself into a brawl with the female Titan. Enraged, the rogue Titan goes all out, only to be swiftly defeated by his opponent's superior dexterity and utilization of its Titan abilities.
エルディア人だな。おい、待ってくれ。負傷者の手当てを。
Concluding with a gnarly decapitation. It's one of Eren's soundest defeats, and the battle that showed this gigantic femme fatale was not to be messed with. Number 20, The Ocean. An uncharacteristically serene way to cap off the third season. Like all things Attack on Titan, there is both beauty and darkness in abundance here. Armin's reaction to seeing the ocean with his own eyes resonates deeply.
間違いない。ここの場所でエルディア人は巨人にされた。
It's such a heartwarming moment as these embittered soldiers get to experience this natural wonder for themselves. At least until we see Eren, who, since finding out the truth about Marley and his father, can only focus on what's on the horizon. A whole bunch of people they have to kill in order to achieve true freedom.
向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち自由になれるのか？
Number 19, Erwin charges into battle.
そうだ。
Genius tactician, uncompromising leader, demon atop a mountain of corpses, Erwin Smith was all these things, and it's fair to say without him, everyone behind the walls would have been killed off a long time ago. The only thing more impressive than his list of deeds is his death, which stands tall as equally heartbreaking and awe-inspiring.
いや違う。あの兵士たちに意味を与えるのは我々だ。あの勇敢な死者を、哀れな死者を。
Faced with the Beast Titan's non-stop barrage of projectiles, Erwin musters his terrified troops for a sacrificial operation that ultimately claims their lives, but not before delivering one hell of a speech.
兵士を怒れ！兵士を叫べ！兵士を叩け！
Number 18, Historia rejects her father.
神は人類を導いてくれると。
How is it possible for someone to go from background character to best girl in a single episode? Well, if you're Historia, you reject your father's maniacal plan to keep the status quo, destroy the Titan serum, damn well break his back, and just to top it off, tells Eren to man the hell up.
何が神だ。都合のいい逃げ道作って都合よく人を先導して。
It's all kinds of amazing and a standout moment of character growth that would take Historia all the way from the resident nice girl to the queen that humanity desperately needed.
わかる。最低最悪の超悪い子。
Number 17, Breaking the Walls. This is where it all started, with the looming inhuman face of the colossal titan as it sent countless innocents to their doom.
巨人だ。
Shattering years of supposed peace with a single strike of its knee, the skinless giant paved the way for dozens of titans to just waltz in and start devouring their way through Eren's hometown. Of course, this was a two-man operation, since the inner wall was also broken down thanks to the armored titan and that unbreakable shoulder charge of his. Number 16, Eren gets eaten. So much for all that spunk. Eager for combat and vengeance, Eren wastes no time leaping into the action during his first combat encounter. While motivated and possessing a decent amount of skill following his graduation, things don't go according to plan when a random titan snaps off his leg and sends him into a tailspin. His sheer force of willpower might have been enough to save Armin from meeting the same fate, but in his wounded state, Eren was essentially Titan Chow. While him emerging unscathed from his transformation state is also worthy of note, we still feel this has more punch, or bite. Number 15. Assault on the Yeagerists. Former friends or not, Eren's band of radical recruits stood between the resistance and stopping the rumbling. Comparing their lives to everyone's on Marley and beyond, the choice was already made. But that didn't make it easy. Even in a show with plenty of grisly character deaths, it's still sobering to see Mikasa, Jean, and the others turn their blades against old friends. Although that's slightly mitigated by how epic it is to finally see Annie and Reiner join the front lines in all their titanic glory. Whether for the bloodshed or the backstabs, this is certainly a showdown to remember. Number 14. Armin or Erwin. Who do you choose? The one humanity needs or the one it deserves? With both hanging on death's door and only one sample of Titan serum, Levi is forced to make a crucial decision about who to save. It's a moral dilemma that forces the core and the audience to pick a side, head or heart, hopeful or pragmatic. Despite settling on Erwin as the candidate, the dying words of his friend give Levi cause to change his mind, ensuring that Armin lives to see another day, now with the power of the Colossal Titan at his disposal. Number 13, Eren is stopped. With all other options out the window, Armin throws hands with Eren, whilst all the others hold back the source of all living matter so that it can't merge with Eren once again. There's only a single person who can finish the job. If there's one thing Mikasa never wanted, it was for Eren to perish. Unfortunately for her, that's what it had come to, and it was by her hand. With an assist from Levi, she finally finds herself face to face with the one person she loves most. It was then that she had to deliver the sweet kiss of death. Number 12. Lifting the boulder. Moments of triumph are certainly few and far between in this show, so anytime Eren and the rest emerge victorious against impossible odds is always something to celebrate. Despite initially losing himself to his Titan form, a few choice words from Armin bring Eren back to his senses, allowing him to complete his mission of sealing up trust. The swelling of the music, combined with the chants from his friends, really adds a gravitas to it all, topped off with the Attack Titan's iconic roar. Number 11. Give your heart, Hanji. If there's such a thing as a happy march to death, it's this. With the rumbling fast approaching, Hanji gives her team a necessary head start by single-handedly slowing down the army of Colossals. It means swinging towards certain death, but Hanji doesn't seem to mind. This is essentially the culmination of her life's research, and she's enjoying every single second of it. Quite frankly, we can't think of a better way for her to go out. Afterwards, Hanji's welcomed to the afterlife by a council of her fallen allies, proving that she really did give her heart until the very end. Number 10. Sasha's end. In Attack on Titan, heart-wrenching character deaths come with the territory, but it's one thing to lose a soldier in action and another to say goodbye to the potato-thieving heart of the Survey Corps, Sasha. If anyone deserved a happy ending, or at least a last meal, it was her. The most painful part is how utterly anticlimactic it feels. Sasha didn't get a grand last act on the battlefield. In fact, she wasn't even in combat at all. The attack on Marley was over, but that didn't stop Gabi from sneaking aboard their ship and shooting Sasha dead just like that. And she calls these guys devils. Number 9. Levi vs Beast Titan. The purest example of Levi's badassery can all be found right here. Following on from the Survey Corps' sacrificial mission, humanity's strongest soldier makes his move, getting in close enough so that he can finally tear into Zeke. While the hairy bastard certainly has size on his side, he's in no way prepared for Levi's speed and ferocity, wherein he proceeds to slice the big ape apart until the scumbag inside is ripped out, where he too experiences Levi's special brand of Eren training. Number 8. The Scream. While hindsight would bring a whole new dimension of hype to this scene, even self-contained, it's still a vital moment that brings one of Eren's many torturous arcs full circle, and that's revenge against the Titan that ate his mother. After the smiling Titan kills his friend in a traumatically similar fashion to Carla Yeager, all Eren can do is let out the biggest scream of his life. Unknowingly activating the coordinate within, the surrounding Titans bend to Eren's will and rip the smile right off its face. Poor Dina. Number 7. The Rumbling begins. Eren spent years trying to activate the rumbling, and when he finally got his wish, it did not disappoint. On a conceptual level, the scale of 100 colossal titans waking up is hard to put into words. Luckily, the destruction they leave in their wake speaks for itself. At this point, all anyone can do is watch, wait, and pray. After all, it doesn't take Armin's brains to realize that, with firepower like this, Eren can trample just about anything he wants. With that realization, it's clear that the rumbling isn't just a threat to humanity, it's the end of the world as we know it. Number 6. Historia lands the kill shot. Continuing the trend of Historia being the best, the way in which she puts to rest not only her father, but the legacy of the first king was just monumental. As Rod Rice's Titan form is blown to pieces thanks to Eren ramming a whole bunch of explosives into its gaping facehole, Historia is the one to slice apart the remains of its nape, killing the Rice Patriarch once and for all, and ushering in a new age for those behind the walls. And that's how you become both a hero and a monarch all in one day. Number 5. The Truth of Grisha's Past. Years ago, Eren's father massacred the Rice family to secure the power of the Titans, or so we thought. No one could have predicted what really happened that night. When Grisha's conviction started to waver, Eren manipulated time itself to urge his father down this gory path. Just like that, the entirety of Attack on Titan turned on its head. The revelation proved that, while Grisha did kill the Rice family, the blood was on Eren's hands. He wasn't going to let anything stand in his way, not Grisha's morals, not the death of the Rice children, and not the fabric of time itself.
先の記憶を見た。しかしまさかあんな恐ろしいことになるとは。
Number 4. Reiner and Bertold revealed. The betrayal that has yet to be surpassed. The way in which Reiner, in a moment of madness, revealed that he and Bertold were the armored and colossal titans was a low-key bombshell.
俺が鎧の巨人で、こいつが超大型巨人で。
From there, all bets are off, as the traitor soldiers go all out in an effort to capture Eren. The emotional devastation of witnessing the two most trusted members of the unit be ousted as the instigators of their shared tragedy is only matched by the preceding heavyweight titan showdown. As you can imagine, Eren was not a happy bunny that day. Number 3. Eren vs Warhammer Titan. After 4 years of honing his skills, Eren put up his dukes again for some explosive Titan-on-Titan action. There's a pretty big catch though. In this case, the Warhammer Titan wasn't the only thing in the line of fire. While this is easily one of the coolest throwdowns in the series, it's hard to appreciate it when Eren's tearing through innocent civilians at the same time.
取り返しがつかない。
Even if they are Marleyans, his complete disregard for their lives made it clear that he wasn't the same Eren we once knew. For the first time, we weren't just scared for Eren, we were scared of him. Number 2. Eren defeats the Colossal Titan. Able to produce explosions of steam larger than every Titan combined, Bertold's Titan form appeared to be borderline invulnerable.
よく戦ったよ。
With even the Thunder Spears proving useless, taking it down seemed out of the question. At least until Armin and Eren pulled off their biggest win thus far.
エレンなら海にたどり着く。
Full credit to Armin for nearly burning to death just to create an opportunity to spring a counterattack, but we still can't get over how Eren, in his human form, appeared from behind and took down the behemoth with the ultimate surprise in anime. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Declaration of War. Beyond the heartbreak, bloodshed, and plot twists, the most electric scene in Attack on Titan is two people talking in a room. Eren and Reiner's discussion of war and guilt is a masterful summation of the series to that point, and also a brilliant preface for what's to come.
ビリー・タイバーの言う通り、俺は悪者だ。世界を滅ぼしちまうかもしれない。だが俺にも、お前たちが悪者に見えた。
In a reveal that deserves to be seen for itself, Eren confesses he doesn't want peace anymore, he wants vengeance. Then, with one hell of a transformation, Eren officially becomes the villain he always had to be. It's incredible, exhilarating, and most of all, ironic. Willy was totally right. Eren is a danger to world peace, and this is a declaration of war, just not Willy's. What's an underrated Attack on Titan moment that you think is an all-timer? Let us know in those comments below.
マフラーを巻いてくれてありがとう。
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.